What is going on, YouTube? High energy. We're back for a trade recap from now on. My trade recaps are actually going to be fire, not 2 minutes long like my boy Fly Ride. No hate to Fly Ride. I did that yesterday because I wasn't feeling it. But today, whole different story, boy. Let's go. Let's just dive straight into it. Had a fat winner today, y'all. We'll see. I'll give you a little sneak peek. Sheesh, sheesh. But let's just dive straight into it, my boys, and let's break down what I did today. Okay, so coming into the morning, had a little bit of a bearish bias because let me just get rid of literally all this. We're gonna go in depth. We're gonna get stuck in it. We're gonna freaking go over everything. Aight, aight. But so coming into the morning here, looking at the hourly. Where's our 9 o'clock? Boom, boom. Hourly, we could see that we had this hourly bearish fair value gap holding. Boom, seeing that respect. Over on ES, same thing. I had also marked out this 15-minute internal 3-drive pattern, bearish 3-drive, higher, high, higher, high, higher, high, higher, high, higher, high, higher, high here, and then we get that sell-off. So that was a catalyst for the pre-market sell-off at that point. And then let me take a breath. Let me slow down. 4 hour, as we can see, higher time frame SMT. NQ coming up, sweeping out this internal buy side liquidity level. NQ trading up into this 4 hour fair value gap as well. So we have two higher time frame bearish SMTs because ES failed to take that respective 4 hour external buy side liquidity level. And we had this internal buy side liquidity level that ES failed to sweep, putting in another 4 hour bearish SMT. At this point in time, I was interested in potentially targeting lower because we have this long, big displacement move up. I went ahead and drew out the consequent encroachment of this range. I'm like, okay, that could be a potential target. So yeah, that's what I was thinking. That's why I was leaning bearish. But again, I wasn't married to that bearish bias. I was gonna listen to what price was telling me. So pre-market, what does ES do? We come down, sweep London low. So I'm like, okay, we're probably going to want to see some form of retracement higher before I look to potentially target back lower. So I'm like, okay, bet we'll just be patient here. And then, yeah, let's dive into the actual market open and what happened. So we have that London low swept. London low gets swept a little bit before market open on NQ. At the open, we rip up, boom, trading back up into this little 1 hour BPR-ish range here that I had marked out. Ended up not mattering. But what happens? NQ trades higher, trades up, barely taps into this 1 hour fair value gap. We sweep out this 1 minute internal buy side liquidity here, which is over here respectively on ES. So I'm like, okay, whatever. And then we put in a bearish SMT at this point as well. Boom. Bearish SMT gets put in. So I'm like, okay, if something forms here, I'm interested potentially targeting back lower. What happens? ES creates a 1 minute inverse fair value gap here, a little market structure shift here. And at this point, I'm like, okay, we have the market structure shift. We have the displacement down. I'm interested. And this was after this candle here because it was such a large displacement down. Obviously, we created a even lower 1 minute fair value gap here, but that RR was pretty trash, so I wasn't interested in it. But this is my trade idea here. So I'm involved. Bam. At this candle, 941, I'm in a short. I'm looking to target lower. What do I notice while we start pricing lower? I notice a 5 minute BPR here, but for simplicity's sake, we'll just mark it as a 5 minute bullish fair value gap. And you guys can probably already tell, look at these bodies. These bodies perfectly respect the consequent encroachment of that 5 minute fair value gap, and obviously this 5 minute bearish over here creating the BPR. But this was like, okay, bro, I do not like seeing this, so let me freaking go break even. So on the 1 minute, I'll show you what that looked like. That looked like price trading all the way down to the bottom of the 5 minute fair value gap. But then with this big 1 minute displacement candle higher, I was like, okay, bro, I'm going break even. Boom, go break even here. Get stopped at break even. And that was genuinely perfect execution because when bodies respect the mean threshold that much, you're like, okay, bro, something's up. Obviously, bodies do the damage. Bodies tell the story, wicks do the damage, and in this case, freaking proves to the literal tick. Look at that, boy. Look at that. So after this, I'm like, okay, that was a great trade. Managed it very well. Executed greatly. So I was like, okay, we'll see if anything happens. Again, I need to not expect anything because one trade a day. And yeah, so what happens after that? Price starts trading higher. When NQ takes this internal high here, we have SMT. But what am I thinking? I'm thinking, okay, we have London high. We just swept London low. This could be a very textbook case of taking London low. taking London low, trading to London high. So I'm like, okay, bet I'll just wait to see if anything happens there. What happens? NQ comes up, takes out London high, while ES fails to do so, but ES taps into a 1 hour fair value gap, bearish fair value gap. So I'm like, okay, that's interesting. Definitely interested in something there. So what happens next? I need to see a lot more structure here, as we can see. So what do? I mark out this 1 hour bullish fair value gap. When it gets turned inverse here, I'm like, okay, sweet. I need to see a change in the SID delivery or a market structure shift to verify that it wants to move lower. So what do I see? I see this big displacement candle down, creating a change in the SID delivery. At this point, I throw a limit order down at the midline of this fair value gap. Boom, 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 targeting this low hanging fruit. So what happens? Boom, I get filled right here. Get filled right here at the mean threshold of that fair value gap. I love seeing this displacement move down. Bang. After this point, I'm like, okay, I'm pretty confident that we're going to continue lower. So I didn't really do anything. I was just waiting. And again, I was keeping a very close eye on this 5-minute BPR. But once we were within here, I'm like, okay, bro, there's literally no reason we respect this BPR again, because we already closed below the CIS or the mean threshold. Seeing movement lower, low hanging fruit becomes very probability wise takeable. So what happens? Boom. I take 2 contracts off here, or what I thought was 2 contracts off here. I was going to leave a third runner here, but something happened because, as you can see, TradeSync was tweaking. I get involved. I close that first trade. It says I'm still involved over here. So I'm like, okay. I log into Tradevate, make sure everything's all right. It's all chilling. And I don't think the balances are right. Oh, no, they are. But yeah, sorry. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, log into Tradevate. Boom. I take partials here, take 2 off. But then on Tradevate trade copier, it says I'm only involved 2 contracts. So I don't know what the heck happened. So I just closed the whole position. Obviously missed out on a little extra bread because this was the actual trade. I'm honestly going to journal it as this, not that I took it, just so I know that that idea worked and that tangible was freaking great. But yeah, that's what happened today. Made 4,300 today. So yeah, that's pretty sick. Little trade recap quick. Honestly, could have left runners here, but I was only involved in a few contracts. Didn't have too much going on. But yeah, I will go ahead and log out of these. That's actually a beautiful trade. All the accounts are getting higher and higher again, just being patient. That makes up for literally all the earlier weeks trades and losses. So yeah, beautiful execution, great day. Was able to read price very well today, and it honestly starts with me just being more focused. From 7 to 7:30, I was dialed in, bro. Wasn't doing anything, just focusing on price action and what the market was telling me. But with that being said, appreciate you guys for watching. If you want to use TradeSync, use my link in the description. It's pretty good, besides when it tweaks like this. As you can see, the fills are a little different, but I don't think that's TradeSync fault. I think that was Tradevate. But yeah, using my code below, I think you get like 10% off. Help your boy out. And then prop firms, Alpha Futures, I recommend the 100K because unlike every other firm, instead of getting $3,000 drawdown and having to make 6,000 profit, you get 4,000 drawdown and having to make 6,000 profit. So it's basically a better 50K because, as you all know, the ratio for the 50K is always the best. But then with this 100K on Alpha Futures, it's still the same as a 50K and you get more drawdown room. So I highly recommend that account. But thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it. Drop a comment down below how you guys did today. If you have any tips, if you have any questions, let me know. But that is all I have for today. I'm going to hop off the chart, go to the gym, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Peace. And if we do trade tomorrow, it's going to be very low sides because it's a Friday. But I'll see you guys tomorrow. Later.